Hey everyone, this is the VOXEL team. Recently, we asked our community what would you do with VOXEL if you were in our place, and we got almost 300 messages. Thanks for being so active and truly living the light of our community. It's honestly amazing to see that each of you has your own vision of what VOXEL could become. Some of your ideas came up dozens of times, others were completely unexpected, and a few actually made it us laughing or even stop and think for a moment. We picked out the most interesting, popular, and just fun ideas you shared in the chat, not to quietly read them on our own and keep building futures in silence, but to actually to grow them together with you. We'll be honest about what's realistic, what might show up in the future, and what will probably just stay a dream. And yet, at the end of this video, we'll finally announce the 3 winners of our contest, the people whose ideas grabbed us the most. So, watch till in the end, your nickname might be there. Let's get into it. Okay, let's start with the gameplay mechanics. This is probably the biggest topic you brought up. There were plenty of different ideas on how to change or expand the core of the game. For example, the idea of merging models came up a lot. There were tons of ways to implement it, but the essence is the same: combine several features of one rarity to get a higher rarity. It's honestly a great mechanic. This kind of feature gives players a chance to progress faster, especially newcomers. Of course, it immediately raises questions for the economy, but overall it could add more depth to the game and open up new strategies. Many also suggested doing something with model quality, so this parameter would play a bigger role in gameplay. For example, making durability or farming depend on quality. Right now, quality mostly affects the minimum sale price on the market, but we're also interested in making this aspect more meaningful down the line. And of course, there were a lot of ideas about clans, alliances, and cooperative play. That's a much bigger concept with a shared treasury, collective spending, and even a special figure that earns for all members. Suggestions like this sound almost like separate products inside VOXEL, so you shouldn't expect in the next few releases. But the concept itself is awesome, and it's definitely on our big list of ideas to come back to and discuss further. Now let's move on to the market. This was also a very popular topic. Many of you suggest how to make trading models more interesting. For example, adding the option to offer your own price to the seller. It makes total sense. That way you could negotiate, push price down a bit, or try to lure in the rare figures with a better offer. But there are obvious risks here, so the market doesn't turn into a chaotic action with endless purging, where newcomers would find it hard to navigate. Speaking of auctions, that idea also came up quite a lot. Auctions are a classic for marketplace. It's simple, whoever pays more gets hits. We already discussed this format within the team, but now it's not a priority for the upcoming releases. There were also suggestions to remove recommended price entirely and let players fully set prices themselves. There were actually a lot of messages about this. It's an interesting idea, but we all understand that without safeguards, it could shake up the economic quite a bit. Another idea was to let players change the price of the model right on the market without having to take it down and list it again. That's definitely more convenient and would cut out extra steps, so improvements like these are very likely to appear. Oh, and very also suggestions to aid trades like Steam style swaps. We are really liked that too. Overall, it's clear that when it comes to the market, you want more flexibility, a bit more control, and even opportunities for dedicated traders. You suggest tons of ideas that turn the game into a real system of small goals and personal achievements. For example, daily rewards with cases and tasks that came up literally in every other message. I mean, who doesn't love logic in the morning and craving some freebies? It's always nice. Plus, these things really pull you in and set a daily rhythm. Another big topic was helping newcomers quest for new players and more in-game tutorials. That's not even so much full as it's absolutely essential, so people don't just drop the game after 5 minutes on the third screen. Stuff like this definitely on our radar. A lot of you also brought up bans rules and even paid on bans. A clear list of rules is really important, so there is no questions later on about why someone got banned. We know the recent wave of bans caused a lot of frustration, but we're doing it to clean the game of cheaters and scanners. In the end, that makes it better for all honest players. The idea of paid unbans was unexpected. Basically, you suggest giving people a second chance if they slipped up. That's interesting too, but for now we're trading it carefully. And finally, there was a very warm idea opening new community threads for art, creativity, and that kind of stuff. It's great that you genuinely want to be part of things like this. We have been thinking maybe we'll run some creative contest and keep growing this side of VOXEL since clearly that's something you enjoy. Now let's run through some of the handy features you suggest. This is more about comfort and having time. For example, a repair all models buttons, and it's simple but super useful. No need to click each figure one by one, just bring your whole collection back at once. This is features is actually already in other plans. Next, filters and folders in the inventory and on the market. That's a total must-have, so you are not digging through chaos with hundreds of models. And we're definitely going to keep working on this. There was also an idea for a sell right after crafting button. Super convenient, you craft something and immediately list it on the market without having to open a separate section. And small things like turn off vibration or having the option to disable VOXEL if you sometimes want to handle everything manually. Then there's the idea of profile stats that's more about personal satisfaction. Seeing how much you have varied, how much you have sold, how many of your models went into recycling. That's a pleasure in itself. Honestly, we hadn't thought much about it before. It's little touches like this that create that nice overall feel in the game. So all of this is on our list too. Now let's take a look at some of the really unusual ideas. There weren't that many, but they definitely stood out. Someone suggests something like Pokemon Go with geolocation and moving around in real life. That definitely sounds ambitious and takes VOXEL in a completely different direction. But it's interesting that this is where your thought went. Or take the Labubu model. We know exactly what that's about, though some people might not catch on right away. There was also the intriguing idea of breaking down models and getting some kind of drop from them. Someone even mentioned having a psychologist in VOXEL. That one just made us smile. In any case, it's awesome that you are pitching even these unexpected ideas. It shows that VOXEL for you isn't just a clicker, it's a place where you can dream bigger. Of course, we didn't mention every single idea you suggest. If we tried to go through them all, this video would probably stretch out to ours. So if you are curious about everything else that came up, head over to our community and scroll through that thread, it's still open. And now let's finally announce the 3 winners of our contest. First place goes to Max Trek. He shared several great ideas, but we especially liked his concept for alliances and boosts. Really cool that he approached it so systematically and actually mapped out how it could work. Second place goes to Club J. He impressed us with a whole bunch of ideas. We especially like this fresh take on rarities and new types of models. And third places goes to Arox22. He had some awesome thoughts on creative events, exactly the kind of thing that could make VOXEL even more interesting and dynamic. Thank you to everyone who shared their thoughts. It truly helps us move forward and makes VOXEL even better. If you are not subscribed to the channel yet, now the perfect time so you don't miss new videos and announcements. Thanks for being with us. The best is yet to come. Bye bye.